Hello, I'm Maxwell Benson, and this is my local logos review assignment, or video, I guess. Um, I am staying inside my car because it was kind of windy outside earlier, and I'm not a very loud talker, and so I want people to be able to hear me. But I figured, seeing as I live in Parowan, and I think I'm probably one of the only people in the class who live in Parowan, I'd take advantage of that and go through and kind of review local logos. But before I get to local logos, I have a certain logo here that I have a deep hatred for, and I'm using this as an excuse to make fun of. So, the On the Run. This used to be a KB. I think KB stood for Ken Brown, who was like a local Utah guy. And I actually quite liked their logo. It was pretty simple. It was just a K and a B, and it was kind of red and black and had some like vaguely mountainy details on it, kind of similar to what Maverick does with like their like outdoorsy like adventure theme kind of thing. And I quite liked KB's logos. I would go to KB instead of like Maverick or Chevron. But now it is called On the Run. I don't know what we're on the run from. But the actual logo part, I do not like the yellow with the blue, which I realize is ironic because Parowan's colors are yellow and blue, but it doesn't feel right. I think it would look better if it was yellow on blue instead of blue on yellow. And then the random addition of red just kind of feels like they were just adding as many primary colors as they could. So overall, not a big fan of this logo. It just seems boring, kind of, what's the reductive? Just like, I don't really get it. It's not a good logo. I think it would even look better if they just had a big O and a big R for On the Run. But maybe that's just me still stuck on the whole KB thing. So, on to the next one. Alright, so the next logo I got is the Family Closet Storage Building. I do not like it. The sign looks relatively new, but the logo looks like something that they designed in the 1980s, and I really do think that it needs a revamp. Like, if we look at it, the way that they've done it is it's a like piece of black plastic that was cut out to be the circle with all the smaller circles in the ring, and then the three people standing there, which, by the way, feels like something out of like a 1920s like kind of like fascist work poster, if you know what I'm thinking. I don't know, it reminds me of like the dramatic pictures of like soldiers all standing in rank, but in this case it's like a random family, so it feels weird. Also the fact that it looks like there's like a man at the back who would probably be, you know, family, so that's probably the dad. Then it looks like he's like hugging the mom or maybe old daughter in like he's hugging her, and then she's hugging somebody smaller. It just feels weird. Maybe they were going for like a kind of like family inheritance thing, where it's like, oh yes, the older generation passes it to the younger generation who passes it to the child. So maybe the first guy's the grandpa. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. Either way, it definitely needs some rebranding. So yeah, 2 out of 10. Alright, so the next logo was going to be the Gents Electric logo, which is just like a locally owned electrical company, but it turns out their logo is so ugly that they do not have it out on a sign anymore. So, but it was going to be pretty bad. But nonetheless, let's do this one, which is actually one that I quite like, the Grace Christian Church. Actually, I really do quite like this logo. I like the mountains. I like the font. It's kind of Helvetica-esque. It's just kind of like a soothing logo, and then it has like where living water flow. That feels nice. You know, it's a nice little logo. I wouldn't call it cute, but I'd call it calm and refined. I will say the GCC that they have over there with the Parowan in the circle does kind of feel like something a news broadcast would have, but maybe it just reminds me of like the CBS it's the CBS eyeball. Maybe it just reminds me of that. But all in all, I do quite like this logo. It's pretty good. I do like the fact that the ring around the GCC is kind of like a little bit of like a paintbrush thing. I mean, it says water, so maybe it's water. Could also just be like the water left over from where you pick up a glass that didn't have a coaster. But it does look quite nice. I quite like this logo. Alright, number 4 on the list is the Parowan Market. And actually, sorry, before I go, I have to just say I'm very proud of myself for managing to whip into this parking spot backwards. Man, I'm such a good driver. Anyways, so the Parowan Market logo, all in all, is not bad, but it could definitely improve. If we kind of zoom into the middle there, that's the actual thing that I'm counting as the logo, the little strawberry sign. And to be honest, I don't mind it, actually. I work in a bakery, I go through a lot of food stuff, and that does feel like a pretty generic logo that I would see on like a case of like a angel food cake or something. It's not bad. It couldn't hurt to have it redone. I do like the and in the middle. It kind of looks like a G almost, but it is an and sign, but it's a different version of the and. Oh wow, my hand is shaky. Sorry. It's a different version of the and sign, and I do like that. I do like that quite a bit. Overall, I'd say well designed. Could definitely be better. Refresh certainly never hurt. Well, it doesn't never hurt, but it wouldn't hurt here, I believe. So on to the 5th. Alright, so next up on the list is the one and only Pizza Barn, at least the one and only Pizza Barn in Parowan. I think every small town I've been to has a Pizza Barn, but that's okay, because we have ours. I do actually not hate this logo, to be totally honest. I'm counting the board's actual shape as part of the logo, and I enjoy it. You know, if we look at the actual building, it is kind of a barn-style building. So I feel like that is pretty reflective, and then like the typeface they used is sort of like an old Western style vibe. Like if you saw that on a wanted poster, it would make sense. I quite like it. And you can't see the other side from over here, but the other side is a little bit faded, and so if they, seeing as they redid this side, they should really redo the other side. But I don't know, maybe they don't got the money for it right now or something. Also, one other random comment. I know that's a piece of farming equipment up on the, up next to the roof, but that is very sharp, and we've had a lot of wind, and so now I'm just imagining it falling down, and I don't think that's very safe, so they should make sure that thing's secure. But overall, quite like this logo, to be totally honest. Very, very small towny, but good. There is the back end of the Pizza Barn logo, just because I just moved down the street a little ways, so I figured I'd show it, because I could. But now, focusing back over here, hope no one's getting motion sickness, sorry if you are, zooming out. Alright, the next logo I'd like to talk about is another one that I quite like. What is this place called now? Somebody just rebought this place. Oh, crap, they don't have the name out. Alright, I do not remember the name of this place because I don't remember the name of the guy who just bought it, but I quite like this logo. I like classic cars, something I think I got from my grandpa, just because, you know, he's really into cars, and I enjoy that one. I do not remember what that car is called. It's not a PT Cruiser, because PT Cruisers are an abomination, but it is still a very nice car, and I think that is a very nice logo. If you go to a tire shop or an automotive shop that has classic cars on all their logos, I feel like you feel that they're going to take good care of your cars. You know, it seems like a classy thing to do. It's like, yeah, look at this. We could take care of this car. We could take care of your little Nissan Sentra. You know, it's nice. I quite like it. I trust them more than I trust Jiffy Lube, for sure. And I do trust Jiffy Lube. So, on to the next. Alright, here we are at number 7, which I didn't realize this is 7. I might end up doing an extra, because there were actually a couple different shops that I wanted to talk about. But here we are at the Mountain View. I believe this is the Mountain View Ranch is what they're called. And I adore this building. So this building is at the very end of Center Street, even though, you know, I know Center Street in Parowan isn't exactly a metro hub. There it is. But it is still a fun building to drive past. I do quite like that logo. It kind of feels cattle brandy, even though I think if you tried to use that as a cattle brand, your cows would not be appreciated because it got a big flat area, and I don't think that's something you want. But still, it definitely feels like it, and the MV is a little chaotic for something that seems so cleaned up when you actually look at the building. But I still like it, and it kind of looks like a mountain and a valley. So Mountain View. Mountain View makes sense here. I quite like it overall. The three little trees kind of balance it out, even if they do not quite match the art, and it's a little weird to have another set of mountains over the MV. But still, you know, more than anything, maybe it's just nostalgia that I like this building. I like this building. Also got a little mural. It's quite nice. All right, so here we are. We've made our way to Parowan Main Street, and oh, there's a lot of cars now. Sorry. Yeah, there's a lot of cars. But I want to talk about that logo over there, the Roof Garden Chocolate McDonald's. I love that logo. Maybe it's the fact that it's a parrot sitting at a table. I mean, it's almost definitely that. Even though it's not a table, it's a box of chocolates. I love that logo. The trouble is that business has not existed since the 20th century. Which I say in order to make it feel older, because I mean, it's still 25 years. That business has not been there like ever. This building it's on has been a Mexican restaurant. It's been a bakery. It's been I think now it's a new restaurant, something about rolling stoves or rolling stones, I don't know. But I love that logo, and I felt the need to show it off. Also, it's not too windy outside, so I'm actually about to go outside. So just one sec. So here's the next logo I wanted to talk about, this Barber J's. I quite like this logo. It feels old-timey, it feels barbershoppy, feels like it might have been from the 1950s, but that's a good thing in this case. It's got the barber pole on there, he's got the barber pole at the front door. I quite like Barber J. I go here for my hair. Wow. That was a really loud car, sorry. I go here for my haircuts, and I think they do a pretty good job. I quite like this. So, yep. Alright, so here we have the last of the 10 businesses I was going to look at, and this is Dry Lakes Ranch. This is a newer ranch that just got established, I think, in 2022, so they've been doing a good job. And I just want to talk about their logo. I quite like it. It feels very nice. Feels very westerny, you know? If I saw that showing up in the background of a John Wayne movie, I wouldn't blink. But, oh, I thought I just paused it. But that's not all. They got little cow stuff all over the place. Anyways, I believe that was the last logo. Really like this one. And yeah, there are still a few logos around town that I want to make fun of or, you know, point out as being good or bad. So now we're entering the bonus round. But before we get into the bonus round, I want to talk about this. I don't know if we can call this a town logo, but if we can, I love this logo. It is very nice. It was made by Jed Sudwinks. I know the guy. He's a cool guy. I was a ward missionary for him for the Parowan 6 ward for a second there. Really nice logo. He did a great job, but not just like, you know, his artistic ability. I think that the arrangement's really good. It feels nice. It feels like a little resort town, which is definitely what Parowan is or is becoming. So, really good job there. Round 1, Parowan Chamber of Commerce. Boring, kind of repetitive, 3 out of 10. Number 2, High County Realty. I like the style. It's kind of fun, kind of cute. Feels Midwesterny. Feels like something you'd see in like Wyoming or Montana. Solid 7 out of 10. Very nice. Number 3, Brown Derby. Definitely looks like it was built in 1910. This building kind of feels like a fire hazard. So, solid. I'm gonna go with a 7 out of 10 again. Quite like it. Alright, next one. Parowan Gym on Main. 0 out of 10. I've designed more interesting things on Google Slides. Alright, turns out the bonus round is ending a bit prematurely on account of the fact that I didn't realize how many businesses had closed down or removed their logo signs since last time I was, you know, driving around. Like I swear there used to be actual like signs with like logos, but now most of them are just like plain text. So yeah, I guess that was pretty much all of the logos in Parowan. Except for like, you know, I guess we have a Taco Bell, but you know, the whole thing was like local logos, so I'm not gonna, yeah. But yeah, so there you go. I believe that was all 10, and I hope the bonus round wasn't too distracting.